Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time we got a look at what happens on the surface now that we've reached the true ending and seen, do we still fight Typhon? And spoiler alert, the answer is yes. But as for this run, we are still trying to progress toward finding the fates, which we assume we're gonna get done just by completing more runs, so probably gonna head back down on this one. And the other thing that we've been working toward is a particular prophecy, the one that requires us to finish a run with all of the various Arcana cards active, and we only have 3 remaining. The Furies, honestly, I thought that we did that last time, although it might be that I'm realizing upon reading this more closely, we need to specifically finish a run in the underworld with these Arcana cards. I guess the surface runs don't count, which is kind of strange, but anyways, the Furies, we still need that. That one's pretty straightforward. That's extra damage when enemies are in your casts. Whereas the other 2, those ones are scary. Not a coincidence that they're the last ones remaining, because Strength is the one that gives us bonus damage and damage reduction when we have no Death Defiances, and Judgment is the one that restricts us to starting with just 3 Arcana cards active at the beginning of the run, and then over time, when we defeat a floor boss, we get more Arcana cards randomly unlocked. So by the end of the run, we're probably at or above the normal Arcana cards that we would have, but early on, that's pretty scary. So that's the plan here, is to do a dedicated Judgment run, because I think that's what it requires. You can't really just casually go about doing that. It takes some pretty deliberate planning.
Strength and wisdom of my predecessors.
This is Judgment. That's the key one that I was just talking about. It's 3 Arcana cards. That's the maximum we can have. And actually, it's a little interesting how this works. I don't know entirely, because of course I haven't used it yet, but it seems as though we can only use 3 active Arcana cards, the ones that you directly activate yourself, you know, like Strength and Unseen and Persistence, they count under that category. But there are other Arcana cards, like Judgment being one of them, the ones that cost 0 Grasp, that automatically activate if you meet certain criteria, and those do not seem to count toward the Judgment limit. So, fortunately, when we only have 3 Arcana cards active, that means that we're not gonna have more than 2 cards of the same amount. And it also means that if we make one of those 3 active cards adjacent to the moon, then we get the moon active for free as well. So it means we actually start off with a few more Arcana cards than we would otherwise have had access to. Would this have been exactly my choice if it weren't for trying to min-max the moon as well? Probably not. I probably would deactivate the Unseen, and oddly enough, even though it only costs 1 Grasp, I do feel like Wayward Sun would be one of my go-tos, just because that consistent healing is so nice, or the Death Defiances, if not for us also trying to turn this into a Strength run as well. So, our Boatman, tons of stuff that under ideal circumstances I would love to have active, but hopefully Judgment will activate that relatively quickly. And if you do the math, I think if we upgrade this further, which we might as well do, it is quite expensive when it comes to the dust cost, it means you get more Arcana cards unlocked with each Guardian that you defeat.
This strength is mine.
Oh man, wow, okay, the cost goes up exponentially on the second one. Yeah, no, I did not expect that. I was kind of hoping it was going to be the same cost, and, you know, if necessary, we buy a little bit more of the dust, but you add in a hefty amount of fate fabric, and I am not so sure that we could buy that stuff right now, even if we wanted to. Do we have enough monies? We need 4 more of this, and then this we needed 20 in total as well, didn't we? Oh, goodness. I mean, not doing the math right now, so we may very well end up a little bit short of the mark, but it's gonna be so close. No! No! So close yet so far. Darn it. Alright, well, what I was about to say was if we were able to get that specific card maxed out,
Wisdom of the ages.
then we would have, by the end of the run, or at least by the final floor, we would have almost all of our Arcana cards active. It's not totally clear to me how this is going to interact with these sorts of cards. Can it directly count one of these zero-cost cards as one of the ones that gets activated, or does that only happen if you happen to, for example, this one activates if you use all the surrounding cards? Do we get this one for free if we happen to get all three of these through Judgement? I'm not entirely sure, so it makes it a little bit hard to figure out what the math is, but there are 25 cards in total, and we're actually, given how we get a little bit of bonus value from these zero cards right from the onset, we have 6 right now. So that means we have 19 cards that we have inactive, which means if this were fully upgraded, at 5 cards per Guardian. Obviously, the cards that you unlock at the very end by defeating Kronos are functionally meaningless. So it's really the first 3 Guardians that matter. So 5 times 3, that's 15 additional cards. So that means you're getting close, but not quite up to every single card unlocked by the time you reach Tartarus. It's probably still more than what you would have had if you had gone with a non-Judgement run. It's just that you start off weak, you get stronger over time. And again, the whole, how do the zero-cost cards interact, because that could mean that you actually get almost every single card active if these ones are sort of updated in real time mid-run. So we're gonna go with this. I wish we could upgrade this one more time, because it does pretty dramatically change the math. It means that's 3 fewer Arcana cards we're gonna have active by the time the run is at its end. We upgrade strength further, though? I suppose we could do that.
Now I see.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Because that's going to be pretty significant. I do hope the Judgement activates death fairly early on so that we suddenly have a margin for error, because I rely on that. But this is our way to protect against that. It is pretty expensive, but we'll take it. And then technically, I have not activated the Furies here. Guess we can upgrade that too. Sure, we're forgetting about upgrading you at this point, because this is the run where we're going to make a point of using it, and then beyond that, I don't really know if we're ever going to activate it again. But what I'm hoping is that this does become something that gets activated mid-run, and that way, I assume the prophecy would still be counted as complete, even if we don't start with this one active. The phrasing suggested it only matters which cards you end with active. It is a risk. There's a chance it doesn't end up rolling, but we will get most of the cards activated. And also, I'm surprised that we haven't finished a run with this card yet. So, you know, if we don't get it on this run, I'm sure we can find a way to activate it on a future run, and then that shouldn't take too much effort. You know, the Judgement and the Strength, those are ones that are really much more difficult and require a dedicated effort. So that's the main thing that we're looking for on this run. And so the first floor is going to be really tricky. Our margin for error will be quite small, at least until we get more of those Arcana cards activated. We do have the Axe as the bonus bones weapon, which is usually the weapon that is either at or near the bottom of my list in terms of ones I feel most comfortable with. We can upgrade the aspect of Malinois, and it is now maxed out. It is a little tempting because it gives us 50 base life. So even if we don't have Death Defiances, at least in that case, we are... Oh, prophecy fulfilled. Hold on. Let's go check what that is. It might be just for completing Forget-Me-Nots. I think it probably is. In which case, the reward is pretty minor. Yeah, that's all it is.
So it is written.
Complete 3 Forget-Me-Nots. I just hadn't done that early on, so I made a point of throwing Forget-Me-Nots on a bunch of basic stuff. In some cases that we already had the resources for, just so we could make sure we still got that done. But that's an aside. So, I'm not usually a big fan of the Axe, but giving us 50 extra life to start off with when we don't have any Death Defiances is a little bit of a security net, so I do like that. However, it is so slow that you get hit fairly often. So if we are gonna go an Axe route, Charon is generally my favorite aspect. I wish we had aspects of Nurgle, but let's go with this just because I think it's the safest. I think it's the safest for us. And I don't think we can afford to get fancy here. And that's why I think it also makes sense for us to say this is not going to be a nightmare run. And it's Prometheus would be our target boss anyway, so he's on the surface, but we're definitely going into the underworld for this. And keepsake-wise, I had a little bit of a plan here as well, because we're also trying to resolve the Arachne curse, and we've learned that it was Athena who applied that curse to her, and maybe we can get that resolved just by meeting up with Arachne and talking to her enough, but there might be a requirement that we go down there with the Gorgon amulet, because this is the Athena amulet, and that's really the only way we can force Athena to make an appearance, if you want to even call it that. In the underworld, usually she only appears on the surface, so maybe I'm reading too much into that, but it feels like this is one of the rare opportunities where we know for certain that this is relevant, because we are not starting with any Death Defiances. So we might as well use that keepsake when we have Strength active and we have Death inactive, and then who knows, by later floors maybe we'll have activated Death and we will no longer be on 0 Death Defiances, in which case this will be ineligible on those floors. So we might as well start floor 1 with this. And Athena can potentially give you some Death Defiance boons, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Never used this keepsake before, so it's a little experimental in that way. In terms of what we lean on early, we do have the magic restoration from the unseen. So I'm thinking we get fairly aggressive on that front. It's worth reminding ourselves. Aspect of Charon, that is cast erupts like a stronger charge cast if struck by charge special. So normal cast, charge special, which does require some magic. So having an Arcana card to help us on that is useful. I think we're definitely going Golly because the block is going to be pretty important here. And I think this is mostly just crafting resources that we can further upgrade, but
you're getting stronger.
We'll make you stronger just in case. So yeah, you're not gonna let us do this. Let's do that. You might be maxed out now. Let's see. Say you're level 9. I feel like that's a strange number. Surely you can get up to level 10. You are letting me gift this to you, so what happens now? Oh, there is still one more level here. Okay, fair enough.
You've done it now, Golly.
Prophecy fulfilled. I thought there was one for maxing out all of the familiars. I didn't know that they went with individual prophecies as well. I imagine this is probably not worth that much, but let's see what it gives us. In all familiar bonds, oh, for any animal familiar, not all, any.
Looks like I did it.
Okay, so that's actually pretty useful, at least for relationship building. Okay, so that's a lot of setup, but that is because we've never done a run like this, and in many ways you could argue this is by far our most difficult run ever, not because of fear, but because of the strange Arcana antics that we're getting up to here. So, here goes nothing.
Here we go again.
Of course, we'll also see if we can learn more about what happens post-true ending. We've already done one run like that down below, but see that Chaos Room as well. Okay, things may be about to get spicy. Alright, I think we might gift here. In general, I want to be more aggressive with that, but maybe we'll save a little bit of that stuff for future runs, future encounters. Very quick update from you. Ooh. Okay, so usually love to see this early, would love to see higher rarity, but we don't have the Arcana cards active that increase our rarity. We have one, actually, I think that does. Sort of. But it's duo boons exclusively? Yeah, no duo boons from Hermes. This is also good long-term. Short-term, it does just about nothing. You could argue with common rarity and no setup that this is actually the best choice, because the other thing is we don't have the keepsake that gives us the extra gold. We also don't have the Arcana card that gives us extra gold, so it is actually very difficult for us to capitalize on Travel Deal, at least in the short term. Maybe we plan long term for that, but you know, if we're thinking long term, I think we do this.
Off I go.
Okay, so we do... Oh no, hold on. This, and that. That's the plan. So we do more damage, and we take less damage. Not used to hearing Chaos say that. But we're doing much more damage and taking much less damage, words, because of strength. So that is, hopefully, going to be quite helpful. But we also don't heal in between rooms. So this 11 damage we're taking right now is actually kind of significant.
I'll use this well.
That's why I was kind of tempted to say, even if it only costs one grasp, I was I was very keen on taking the healing in between rooms from the Zagreus themed Arcana card, whichever one it is. It's 5 healing per room. Yeah, I'm gonna gift to... nah. I'm not gonna gift to you. I'm sorry. I'll find someone else to gift.
Concerning what transpired in your father's house. Kronos conceded in his war, you said. You continue fighting battles as before. Why is that so? Respond.
That is a very valid question.
Almighty chaos. Kronos can explain it far better than I. But time is like a river seeking to flow freely forth. Yet it
I
can
hate
be
that
obstructed
phrase.
and change course disastrously. Essentially, I'm having to retrace some of my steps to prevent that.
That has been a phrase we're hearing a lot nowadays. In part, I hate it because it's just a real mouthful. Try saying it 5 times fast. Maybe that's the main reason.
As one who dwells in possibility, I understand. Preventing infinite possibilities, however remote they may be, shall take some time. But Kronos must be well aware of that. I shall look forward to the outcome of this new endeavor.
Okay. So, we have never taken this one before. I think we have 2 or 3 Kronos boons Kronos boons, Chaos boons that we've yet to take. And that's in part because they're all based on the downside. That's what dictates what is a new Chaos boon. And there are a few really nasty ones that we've not opted for, like sprinting more slowly afterward we gain max magic. I don't think this is the run where we're being experimental with Chaos stuff. In fact, you could have made the case for just skipping this room altogether. Well, we were gonna have a whole lot of common boons anyway. Oh, we didn't take the travel deal. It would have worked really well with this. I mean, this is still certainly relevant. Would have been even more relevant with travel deal, but there's little to no downside. And there is definitely still an upside. Maybe not quite as big. That was pretty big, though. Not a huge fan of them spawning directly on top of me. There's a lot of enemies in here. Oh. That's because we killed them all before she could even get rid of them. Well, there is Athena, and she is appearing because we took her keepsake and because we do not have any death defiances, so that does mean that might be about to change.
Mind getting that for me?
Should we gift to you? Sure. I guess you make the cut. Chaos? Hermes? Nah. Athena? Apparently.
Your gesture is unnecessary. Warring mortals often make me offerings in hopes that I might guide them to victory. But you and I have a shared purpose, so I require no such incentives in our case.
This is no incentive. Merely a way of saying thank you for accepting me and recognizing what potential I may have to aid our family in a time of need.
Okay. But otherwise, if not for us having taken this keepsake and had 0 death defiances on floor 1, which is also quite unusual without setting up our Arcana in this way, we would not have seen Athena on this floor at all.
You bear the amulet I gave to you. May it protect you and strike fear into the hearts of your enemies whenever I am not around to do the same.
Thank you, Lady Athena. The creature engraved on this, it's a Gorgon, isn't it? A guardian of some sort?
Oh, not exactly, no.
Oh?
More of a cautionary reminder about what happens when we gods are openly defied. Don't lose your head out there, cousin.
Okay. Let's see what you offer. So now, these are all going to be common rarity boons, which is a bit unfortunate, because that's the Chaos Curse activating. It does mean it will now evolve a little more quickly. Specials also launch a projectile ahead that can deflect. That's useful, because special is going to be a pretty big part of our combo here. Casts also deal a burst of damage in the area and momentarily make you deflect. Ooh, I think that might actually be more impactful, because it's the cast that propagates from this aspect. So I think we probably go for that. Otherwise, I mean, at least in Hades 1, this is arguably the single best boon in the entire game. So it's hard to turn that down, but I think I am still going to go with the cast. Okay, so my hope is that by having Athena show up here on this floor, if we do find Arachne, then that might progress the conversation with her. Maybe I'm forcing something that doesn't need to be forced, but I mean, Demeter is tempting to me, for sure, because the freeze, when we're this weak in particular, could be a nice defensive tool. Really hard to turn down the hammer, though. And so this is a setup with this Arcana that I had long been fearing. Because I knew it was going to be something... Is that going to still hit? Yes. I knew it was something that theoretically we were sort of supposed to do, but at the same time, I was not especially keen on doing it.
Good fight, Golly.
Let's see what we get here. So, I think special and cast is really the big thing, but it's not charge special, it's base special that we're looking for. We're not loving what I'm seeing. I don't really know that we're ever going to find ourselves using any of these things. Maybe every once in a while I will accidentally end up using the charge special, so I might go for this. But that's not
heavy still.
Not the reward I was looking for. And if I had known we would have seen that, I probably would have gone for Demeter. It's a similar setup to what we saw in the previous room. Okay, but I do think the Athena is already working out quite well for us.
Couldn't do it.
Oh, I didn't have the magic. And that's why getting the extra magic at the beginning was such a big deal. Or the magic regeneration, at least, from that Arcana card. So, even if it wasn't originally something that I thought was going to be one of my limited Arcana cards... Oh, okay, never mind, I guess we're just getting rid of the... Forgetting about the cast. Okay, messed with our flow a bit, but it's alright. We also have nothing to upgrade with that. That is unfortunate timing. Can it upgrade this? No, it cannot. Okay, so we have to do Arachne, because that's why we took the Athena keepsake in the first place. Was to see if we get a special interaction here.
I swear. Come closer, and I'll prove it true.
That's a bit of a scary thought.
I wouldn't dare. But they are nothing, and you're you. And one more. My fangs aren't venomous. Oh.
Okay. It's very, dark and foreboding. Okay, we've got a little bit of gold from that, but let's see if you have anything to say about this situation. Oh! Hold on, we definitely want to gift to you.
Wait, is this what I think it is? Oh, no, I shouldn't. Not again. Weaving silken fineries for somebody such as you truly is an honor and its own reward. Besides, this stuff is for the gods.
The gods may often be the ones indulging in this stuff, but it's not just for them. It's for you. For those whom we regard as friends.
Okay, but now there's the prophecy foretold, not complete, which I guess means there are some garments that we've yet to get from her. But this is the big thing. Do you say anything about Athena here?
We've had some goings-on here in these woods. A lot more goings-on than usual. Lost souls all acting strange. Did something happen I should know about?
Doesn't seem like this is directly related to Athena. I mean, and even if there isn't anything that comes from that, as I said, this was kind of a rare opportunity to actually benefit from the Athena keepsake. So, worst comes to worst, we got Athena to actually show up with the keepsake, which would have otherwise been nearly impossible, or at least very unlikely we would have ever chosen to do that.
Arachne, it's just that my task is finally complete. Well, for the most part. King Hades and Queen Persephone are back, and they'll soon give all the lost souls here a place to go.
My, but that is exciting. You did it, my friend. But then, it looks to me as though your fighting isn't over with.
Yeah, that's the conversation we are now having with just about everyone.
Not yet, and possibly not for a while. So if it's all the same to you, I may keep passing by every so often. And not just for the beautiful silk dresses, but to say hello.
Why then, hello right back. And you are truly welcome here whenever you desire. I'm so happy for you.
Okay. So, a more generic conversation with her, but nothing that seems to directly address the potential resolution of her curse. So, what I'm thinking about here, this would be useful. So it would mean our... Wait, no, it is our charge special that we're using. Forget sometimes if it's the base cast or the charge cast, charge special, base special. Okay, so that does mean that this is more meaningful. Oh, we got this before with this very aspect, I believe. And it actually made it incredible. So, okay, this is great. It does, however, mean that it's costing us more magic. So magic sustain is a little bit tricky even with that Arcana card active. So getting more magic restoration, not the worst thing. Charging up this combo more quickly, also not the worst thing. Getting more gold on a run when we do not have the sources of gold that we typically have, both keepsake and Arcana-wise, that's also meaningful. This has the smallest amount of armor, though, so I don't really know how long we can sustain that one for. I mean, that's obviously the case for all of these, but, you know, it might still be the most meaningful, because do we really need this stuff in the short term? I mean, if we were to, say, get into a mini-boss fight immediately after this, it'd be helpful. We might very well lose that immediately, and then that'd mean the Gilded Dress did just about nothing for us, but I still think I'm gonna give it a shot.
Coming right up.
And, you know, as I was saying that, I was thinking, it really feels like, more often than not, there is a mini-boss immediately after the Arachne encounter. Here you go. Alright, I think I am going to go Demeter for the reasons I was saying before. The freeze could be very nice defensively. The knockback from Poseidon, you could argue, similar story there, but let's go with freeze and let's see. Which mini-boss is it? It's this guy, who is annoying. Can I still hit you from here, though? If so, then that is huge. Oh, I need more, though. I need more magic. And there will still be brambles that can potentially chase us down over here. So it's not necessarily safe for us to do this non-stop. Would love to see where the other non-mini-boss trees are, though, so we can get rid of the source of those brambles. I think I'm hitting stuff. I hope I'm hitting stuff. Yeah, just try not to stand right on the edge of the grayed out area, the smoke cloud, so that even if we do start to see those brambles approaching us, we can still have enough time to sidestep. So yeah, I do hope that that's hitting him. Otherwise, obviously, this is a Sisyphusian task. Oh. I think she said that because we didn't have enough magic, but then we did eventually have enough magic. Because it costs 45, which is a lot. It is not doing any damage, I'm realizing. So, it's a good thing that we did eventually come to that conclusion. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, we would have been here for quite some time. I feel like you might need to be right on... You might actually need to be able to see him in order for the damage to count. This will almost certainly immediately break our armor. But the good thing... Yup. The good thing is that we got at least one room worth of gold from it, because you do get gold from just walking into this arena. Okay, so now the brambles have been turned off. Okay, that one I just tried to do it from a little bit closer to see if we were just barely out of range in the past, but I don't think that was the issue. And as you can see, we have a very small margin for error. That's definitely in range, so it appears as though the smoke cloud is functionally a shield. What if we go... approach from this angle. Wait for it. Okay, nope, I got greedy. Tried to see if I could set the cast the first time in, and then double back. That was very close. Double back for the charge special on a later attempt. That was bad. Okay, well, the golly block was actually pretty huge, not gonna lie, and the golly damage on the block was actually even bigger still. is why I do not like the slow nature of the axe. Okay, you're close to losing your armor. Not quite there yet, though. There it is. There we go. Okay, we kept the armor. Also, this is guaranteed to be common rarity, which is really unfortunate. That always seems to happen when we take this Chaos Curse on this floor.
I shall never forgive Kronos, nor do I wish to see his wretched countenance again. But if whatever spell you cast on him has truly withered his ambitions, then so be it. Perhaps there was no other way.
Alright. So, with that in mind, the special and the cast are the two most important boons on this run. Are we willing to get a common rarity on this and risk having leaving a lot of damage on the table? It does give us freeze, which is why I was interested in Demeter, but maybe we just set Demeter precedent here and we try to wait a little longer. I mean, we could get the attack, of course. Wouldn't be the worst thing. Otherwise, we get magic restoration. Requires that we remain inactive to get a bunch of magic. But don't know. I think we go attack, because it gives us a way to apply freeze without wasting one of our most important slots. Oh.
Breathe, Mel.
Okay, oh, and I forgot that now that the Chaos Boon has evolved, that gives us extra gold, which does synergize with the Gilded Dress. So we got 8 gold walking into this room. It's already given us a little bit.
Let's get you someplace safe.
Should get a little more from walking out of this room. Also, this is the slowest shade I've ever seen.
Good.
There we go. Okay. We actually did need to restore that. I forgot, because we took damage from going into chaos. Okay. Selene. Important, yes, because we're going to spend a lot of magic. So we should be able to charge up our Hex pretty quickly. And one of the other reasons why I took this was because it activated you. That's the only way we can get you active. So that means even if we are stuck not doing many attacks, we still can just spend time dodging around and charging up our Hex if we get kind of trapped. So I feel like maybe we skip this room in part because we've gotten at least a little bit of extra gold between Chaos and Arachne. So maybe it makes up for that. Ooh, okay, that's bad. That's bad. Bad place to be stuck. Especially against enemies who are about to melee me.
I have returned.
Okay, Selene is here.
Golly, get it. Appreciate the help.
And we see now this combo, it already is mostly just being boosted by you. But it's enough to clear rooms very quickly as long as we have the magic to sustain it. I'm going to gift to you as well.
O Moon, my steady friend through all these nights, I have for you this humble offering.
I am grateful for your generosity, though the kinship that we share is more than sufficient, and makes the lonely nights seem to soar by.
Alright. Then let's take the
I draw
boon.
you down, O Moon. Lend me your light.
The threat of Typhon now is gone to us, and yet you are ensuring with the Titan Kronos that even the possibility of such a threat cannot exist. Then so mote it be. As Silver Sisters, we safeguard the realm by all our means.
Thanks, Selene. Alright, let's see. So we have almost no boons to work with here. So I think we're just taking in a vacuum whatever hex we like most. And Total Eclipse is great for the big burst of damage if the enemy is fairly stationary, or you can sort of kite them into it while you're waiting for the big burst to land. Otherwise, the Morph is nice in how it makes us much safer, which does make a lot of sense, especially while we're trying to sustain this Arachne upgrade, and also hopefully get through a floor or two to activate some Arcana cards. Then we'll feel a little more comfortable with where we stand. The healing, useful too in that way, but I was very underwhelmed by this on a run or two ago when we were using it. So I think it's one of these two. I think we'll go with this for the big burst damage. Okay, and then we still have almost nothing to upgrade here. It would basically be the attack boon that we don't really want to be using. We want it to be special and cast boons. Okay, see that. Trying to wait this out a little bit so we have some time to get the magic back, and then run, and then do this again, and get, oh dear, the magic back. There's still more of you. Who's left? Oh. Can I get you from here? You dodged it, basically. Also, I didn't really aim that in a great place. I think that's still gonna miss. For it. Then we get you. Okay. And this is getting bonus gold from Chaos, so that's worth quite a bit. Okay, so oddly enough, despite us not having any Death Defiances and only having 80 life here, I do kind of feel like the little bit of extra magic might be more impactful, because it's all about the aspect combo. Oh, okay, that's a block, but this is a nasty corner to get stuck in. I was hoping I was going to be quick enough. That wasn't going to be an issue. Excuse me. Close one. There we go. Okay, just trying to get as many rooms out of the Arachne outfit as we can. So we're already at 353 gold, which is pretty solid. And is this the penultimate room? It actually is. Okay, so if we go here, I do want to be mindful of that. And make it so stuff costs less, but there is a pretty hefty upfront cost to doing that. This is meaningful for the special, and it is quite cheap. We do have something for the attack, but that might be worth picking up. I think we're skipping everything else, and then if you really want to save the cash, then you go this way, because that means you're getting a free palm rather than spending in a shop. Obviously, we could potentially get more from here, although next floor we could end up using the Charon coin purse. So the lack of gold might have just been a one-floor thing, and maybe we're okay going to the shop. Anyways, I think we could do it. We're gonna get even more just from walking in here. So we're at 350. That is, yeah, gonna give us more than what we would have gotten in the other room. Don't need the healing. Let's do this.
That ferryman having a fire sale there. Don't want you paying an exorbitant amount. Not that there ought to be a price on blessings anyhow.
Alright, let's see what Hestia can give us. So, would really like if we had a high rarity special from her, but that is not the case, and similar with the cast, I think we might go cardio gain for magic restoration. The attack, again, we're not really planning on using that much, but the special should hit a lot of stuff. I mean, really, the cast is where we'd benefit the most from hitting a lot of stuff. Oh, I think we might be taking this mostly just to dodge taking a common boon for one of the two most important things. Obviously, we are about to go into the Hecate fight, so having a little more power there would still be helpful, but I think we're gonna be alright. And then this is gonna turn into... we might skip that. Because we're either upgrading the attack, which we don't really care about, or we're upgrading this, which we also don't care that much about. I mean, I guess the play could have been take one of those common rarity, special, or cast boons, and even if it is common, at least you can target it with this, but I think we might just save the money. Alright, so Hecate is tough because we don't have much stuff going for us yet. However, I mean, honestly, this is the big thing right now. And once we do defeat her, fingers crossed that we can, then that means that we get more Arcana cards activated. So fingers crossed that those turn out to be good ones.
Mustn't keep her waiting.
Is that silk you wear, or gold?
It is silk indeed,
Athena
and
deigned
gold.
to grace these woods of ours, has she? Perhaps a mere projection of her power now that you and she have built up more of a working relationship.
This is true.
The Gorgon amulet lets her locate me almost anywhere, though she can never stay for very long. I hate to inconvenience her.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is even if we took the Gorgon amulet on this floor, on almost any other run, Athena would not have shown up because we would have already had 3-ish Death Defiances. So that was why it made sense to at least try using that here.
She would not bother if she deemed you unworthy. Whilst her power may be limited beyond Olympus, I shall not underestimate it here.
Alright. Yeah, that's pretty good damage. And with our magic restoration... Oh, hello. Please do not stand next to me. With our magic restoration, it does become easier for us to spam it. Oh, yep. Okay. Already on the first phase. Nice. Okay, don't stand there, though. Okay, it's just the combo is slow. Which has always been the problem with this combo. Always been the tricky aspect. Did you say Selene smite you? Excuse me. Selene is our good friend. And ally. Excuse me. I'm just gonna assume we can kite you in here. Perfect. Good timing. That should be close to your phase. Those don't have limited range, do they? Okay, don't really... well, actually, I do want to use this combo at least. That should definitely cause this to happen. I think there is an achievement for killing one of the enemies while we're in this phase, which I think basically means you have to have some form of damage over time. Otherwise, I don't know how you're doing that right now. So I think it basically means have Hestia, more or less. It was a terrain kill, is that right? Okay. So much for them, she says. Also, that was unfortunate time. Or was it unfortunate timing? Maybe not. I take it back. That was unfortunate timing. There we go. No damage taken.
At least let me get in a strike or two next time for the sake of pride, Millennium.
Hey. Sorry, that's a no-can-do, Hecate.
Return to Shadow now.
I passed the test.
Alright. And then we see the 4 Arcana cards that we get activated. Let's take a closer look at what those were. It was the Furies. Okay, so that's one of the ones that we need to finish a run with. So I was betting that that might happen, and it now has, so that's good. Then... the Unseen we started off with. We gained the Artificer. That's the one that allows us to change some minor finds into major finds, so crafting resources into actual boons or gold. We already had that. We have 3 rerolls. We... already had that. Wait, what else did we gain? Charge moves are faster. Okay. So... biggest thing... might have been the rerolls. We still don't have any Death Defiances, so we have the bonus from Strength still, doing extra damage and taking less damage. But, yeah, at some point it would be nice to have the Death Defiances, just so we don't have to be as concerned. But we also still have...
Your dress.
Hello, Grandfather.
Why, hello there, Kronos. Usually you're here to trash talk us, but maybe not this time. By defeating Hecate there without losing our dress, we get the extra gold walking into this room and the next one because there are no enemies here, so it just adds up a bit over time. Okay, so we don't really need that, although we could consider going Narcissus here. We do have a lot of common rarity boons, not really ones that we want to upgrade. Besides maybe this would potentially be quite good to upgrade, but we have a 1 in 3 chance to hit it, I think, so I don't know that that's worth focusing on. I think instead we'll take either Moonbeam here, or it could be the Gold Purse, which now gives us more than it would usually give because of that Chaos boon. That's actually pretty good argument for using that. I was gonna say otherwise, with the extra gold we've gotten from this, maybe we don't need it? I think we can wait, at least. Let's front-load Selene with the Moonbeam, which has been a little finicky, a little buggy as of late, and I have also, I think, accidentally used it for more floors than I intended to, so do need to be mindful of actually taking this off on subsequent floors. But it means, theoretically, we are upgrading our Hex sooner in the run, which is useful, and then, you know, maybe the gold is not all that necessary until near the end of the run, in preparation for the super shop, say. Oh, we need to speak to you first? We can't gift to you, can we? Wait! At some point, it appears as though we will be able to do that. Time heals all wounds. A lie. Some wounds never heal. Many can, to an extent, even if some pain lingers with a warped memory of its cause. We typically do not have opportunity to relive our past, remake our choices. Time does not allow for such things. But why should time not be the exception? Yeah, well, I don't know. What happens when we salute you?
Salutations.
Salutations. Is it all right if I occasionally meet you thus, granddaughter? I know our prior conversations here in Erebus were fraught, but I would dearly like to start anew.
So, one other thing that I don't think I've mentioned yet is the friendly Kronos is named Father Time below his name, whereas the adversarial Kronos, I think, is Titan of Time or something along those lines, so different title. His art is different. His tone of voice is still the same, which, as I was mentioning previously, still is off-putting. He doesn't sound like a close friend. He still sounds like someone who's about to stab you in the back. And it's just, this doesn't track, this conversation here. It's just a complete 180. It just doesn't... You needed to give some hints, some signs that he was considering changing his ways before he just out of nowhere chose to do it. Because otherwise, it just, you lose me.
I'll have to learn not to attack you here on sight, but let's give it a shot. What is it about this place that's so special?
We never actually attacked him here, but we did definitely trash talk.
Well, it is rather sentimental, but this is where you and I first met. In our time. Now that my memories are all mixed up, it is a moment which I realize I cherish. I had already heard so much about you. Seen you grow up.
It must feel strange to have known of me before I was even born. In any case, I'll see you when I'm closer to our goal.
I shall be looking forward to it.
Okay. You say so. We don't need the healing. Sacrifice boon, not super meaningful here. And the Yarn of Ariadne is kind of interesting, just given how much trouble we've had with getting high rarity boons. Some of that was from the Chaos Curse, but since we don't have many Arcana cards to boost rarity, that's not guaranteed to change. It is kind of expensive, though. If we do the sacrifice, it could still give us the Magic Restoration, which might be an improvement. The attack boon, I probably wouldn't want to sacrifice that. Even if it does mean higher rarity, it is a nice source of freeze. So, and these kind of conflict with one another. The Sacrifice Boon is always guaranteed to be +1 rarity. So it's kind of an either-or situation. I think we take this. If it's the attack boon, we're going to skip it. If it's the magic restoration boon, we'll probably take it. But since it only costs 25 gold, I think we can live with that risk. It's not the end of the world if it whiffs. Okay, so we are a little bit stronger on this floor with the additional Arcana cards, but not dramatically so. We didn't really get the cards that I really wanted. Oh, actually, the most significant thing we can do is reroll these. Except, hold on. I thought it was before you entered the room that you do the reroll. Is it actually when you're looking at the reward itself? It's been a while since we used this. When do we do this? Because I would like to change... Are we just not allowed to change this first one for some reason? I don't know. Okay, these guys can be kind of annoying when it comes to not getting hit. Nope, don't hit me. Don't hit me, bro. There we go. Okay, just trying to carve out a few... Okay, so here's where we transform. Yes, so I think we go for it. I mean, we might as well try getting something better here. Selene with Moonbeam. Okay, well, we think... Let's see. Yes, okay. Moonbeam for reals. Oh, I don't know if we've gotten this combo before. I think we theorized that the big meteor falling from the sky would combine with Hestia because it seemed like it might be fire-themed. But we can certainly do that. Let's see. So, what does it actually do? Rapidly inflict Scorch on all foes until the blast. Oh, so it gives you some upfront damage. You're not as concerned about that huge 4-second delay. So that's nice. Then what do we get at the end? Hex also fires your charged cast in the target area immediately after the blast. We are hoping to be a cast-based build. So we don't yet have a cast boon, but it is very much on the bucket list. So I do like that. And what are these guys? After using Hex, foes in the target area move more slowly. After using Hex, foes in the target area take more damage. Okay, I mean, all the above, if you ask me. It's actually a pretty small tree here. Very few points in total for us to use. I think charge up does intrigue me. Because I don't remember exactly how much it costs to use this the first time round, but we are thinking we might add to the cost a bit there. And then this side is the move more slowly side. I mean, sure. We could start up with an 80% charged if we really wanted to. Let's see, what does this leave us with? I didn't count how many this was. I think we'll still do the AoE. I know it is nice getting the extra damage once you've used it in the encounter, but let's see. And we could go here. I guess we will. But more Selene in the future would not be bad.
Huh.
Wait, what is that healing coming from? Is that from Golly? Because we have seen that happen occasionally. Or is that just something, like an incantation that we got in general from occasionally digging stuff up? That might be the case. Alright, so now life, which we are not gaining over time, unless we actively seek it out, and with no death defiances, there is something to be said for doing that. Or magic, which, as we were saying, is a little more meaningful since we are really keen on using our combo here. I think, we are getting this next time we encounter a boon, and so that means it's either going to be the attack boon or the magic restoration boon that becomes the target of that. So, how much do we like the attack boon from Hera? I mean, as we were saying, we'd probably skip that. If it is the magic boon, yeah, I probably would take that from you. I feel like we kind of need the life. Oh my goodness, that was not a nice place to drop us in. Fortunately, I think that's a pretty good example of just how strong this aspect can be.
Good job.
Okay. Ooh. So, probably wouldn't have been my first choice, but if we want to open up another room, we would have to fight more enemies, which while we still have this active and while we are still without any guaranteed source of healing, I think we might settle. And as I was just saying, you know, we do have reason to want more magic. Ooh, don't like this. Don't like this. There's too many fast enemies here. Okay. At least get rid of their armor. Oh, or get rid of all of them. That works too.
Stronger.
Okay. Then let's get you.
Join me.
The facial expression. There we go. Okay, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Not especially keen on the mini-boss right now. In large part because of us still having this, and you have to imagine it's gonna go away as soon as we fight a mini-boss, unless if it's the super version of those guys who pop up in the water that we just saw in this encounter. That one we tend to be able to get pretty consistently without taking damage, but there are some other nasty ones that likely would lead us to taking damage and losing the armor. So I think we might go shop, and then we might have a little bit of control over how we activate this. That's the other thing, is that yes, this is higher rarity, which is nice, but we already know for at least one of the boons that we're guaranteed to get higher rarity on this, so we don't quite benefit as much from the mini-boss rarity as we normally would. So let's go here, and we now have enough gold that we can be pretty aggressive. It's really starting to add up. I mean, I obviously haven't done the math to figure out exactly what it has equated to, but it's a lot. And we don't really have anything that we're looking to upgrade rarity or tier wise right now. I don't think. I think we are going to take you, and if this does turn into the magic restoration, it's the one that gives us the plasma, which potentially increases our speed. It's not as good for pure magic restoration, but since we do have some of that working for us already, that's probably okay. And then if it's the attack boon, yeah, we'll see.
I accept this message.
Okay, it is the magic restoration one. Otherwise, we get this, which honestly, on this run in particular, is quite significant. It probably is better with quicker, smaller hitting weapons, because it's a flat amount of restoration per hit, and we are very much more along the lines of the hit once, hit hard type of archetype. So I think we are still going to take this. Oh, and it gives levels as well, I forgot about that. So yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's just about all we could have asked for. And I think we will take this, and we'll probably go for magic, or rather, money, the gold as well, because that does, whether we have this or not, wherever the chaos boon is, we do benefit more from it. And now, I think we're doing this. Really just not making a point of attacking unless we don't have time to use the combo. Yeah, occasionally we'll end up using attacks because of that. Still, I mean, okay, sure, we have slightly more reason to go with the mini-boss now that we have gotten the sacrifice guaranteed boon out of the way. But given the extra value on the gold runes, I think we will still opt for this. These guys, as I was saying before, a little hard to avoid taking damage from, given how they hide in their shells. Their projectiles bounce around. May not have necessarily been the best aim for it, but that's okay. Ooh, excuse me. That was close. I saw it coming at the end. Okay, there we go. Okay, so for here, We have picked up a little more life. So we're maybe not... I mean, we're still... If you factor in that we have no death defiances, we have way more, or way less, rather, life than we would usually have at this stage in the game. So you could definitely make the case for going this route. But we also don't have many boons, and I do think Hephaestus could be really nice, especially on the cast. Probably would be the best. Because then it hits a bazillion enemies. So let's do it.
Let's hear it, Whispers.
Find a corner to hide. Then you do this. And you try to do it again. Oh, that was... Okay, that was the plasma, not an enemy projectile. Who's left? One might call that overkill. But I call that efficiency and safety. Okay. Oh! Sure.
For you, mighty Hephaestus. Though you may not have occasion for such offerings, working a hot forge every night and day.
This is just a service job. No need to get all cordial and alike. Nice gesture from you, though. So cheers and all.
Alright. Then, as for the boon, I'm prophecy fulfilled.
Where'd that great big monster out there go? The mountain's rumbling's all settled down, and now my clanging's just about the worst of it. You got him then? I didn't even get to have a look.
Alright, so we're really looking for... Ah, darn it. The cast would have been fantastic. We do have rerolls now, so we could use one here, although you could argue that it's worth saving the rerolls until later on in the run, when hopefully we've activated more of the Arcana cards, including some that give us a better chance of good rarity. So the rerolls are just more useful. They have more potential to actually be upgrades at that point. So... Oh! Now this is... Both of these are actually quite interesting when we have our armor on, our outfit from Arachne. We get 75 armor for the first 7 seconds. We get 50 armor, and it restarts every single room. Or we get 50 armor. It doesn't come back at any point in time, but we do get extra damage as well based on our armor. And it lasts more than 7 seconds. We are getting pretty close to the skill of fight. So obviously that's going to last more than 7 seconds. We could make the case for this then. Okay, I'm still going to go for this though.
See that, Golly? Nicely done.
Okay. Then mini shop. Ooh, extra special damage. I do like that. We have the money for it because the dress has been helping us quite a bit at this point. It's lasted for many rooms. Might even take that. It's so inexpensive. Where'd the music go? That was weird. Okay, then we could end up re-rolling either of these. I mean, I guess you could make the case that re-rolling the room rewards also could be more beneficial later on when we have potentially better rarity on our boons. However, on the other hand, you could say this is when we need the power the most because we don't have those upgrades yet. So I think I'm going to go life now after having gotten some extra magic. I think we're doing okay on that front. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you for the block. I don't really know how that enemy made it through. I'm gonna be honest with you. But technically that means we still have armor. So I guess we'll take it in what would have otherwise been probably one of the most difficult encounters for us because those enemies are so quick and numerous. But I really thought we just deleted all of them instantly. Okay, so is this the last room? It is, or the penultimate room? I think it is. So I think we do head to the shop, because we still have enough money to buy likely everything. And if we do see armor, wouldn't be opposed to buying it. We don't see it. I think we're going 1, we're going 2, and then we're probably skipping. Grizzly gain... Oh. Okay, very high chance of plasma at this point. I mean, that should add up. The speed. This is, however, a very slow setup, so on one hand, you do benefit from the speed, but you're starting from such a slow number that I'm not really sure mathematically how much of a difference that makes until you get to pretty insane numbers. Let's take this. This is where we would like to see some higher rarity stuff for... This is actually interesting. This is not the primary cast boon. This is the sort of secondary effect on that. And I'm not sure how that would work with this aspect. That's kind of an intriguing idea, because it does give it a lot more damage potential, at least sort of indirectly. It's not really burst damage, but kind of like what we just saw in that previous room. You're trying to clear out a little more distant enemies. That area of effect probably gets a lot bigger at this point, so you know what? Let's try it. This is the rarest option. I think we still go for this. Okay, so this will be skill in the Sirens. Normal skill in the Sirens, not rival, thankfully. No death defiances, so that's a little scary. We have at least 110 life right now, which is saying something, and our Hex is pretty strong, so that's useful. We have the extra special damage here, even if we don't have a special boon. And we have... I thought we had... Oh, didn't we get the shop item that gave us crazy special damage if we didn't have any boons for it? But that has now expired, I think. So, yeah, I think the Hex is going to do most of the heavy lifting alongside the combo, of course, even without many boons to support it. But I'm going to try to play it safely. If we can retain the armor, that'd be incredible. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's... First 7 seconds, we still have armor. So, honestly, it might take us close to that long to set up the combo, especially if we're trying to reposition a little bit before we do it. So I think we're going to try to set off the combo almost immediately, try to get rid of the drummer almost immediately. Usually you can get multiple of the Sirens in that very area, and then at that point we're going to have to dodge around a bit and probably Hex. Did we take all the stuff to charge up the Hex really quickly right off the bat? So that could be a way to finish off the drummer. We'll see. If we lose the armor here, it's certainly done its fair share. It's a fashion choice.
Go on and heckle us, lady. We're big. We've got thick scales. Scylla's got a voice like yelping dogs. Her lustrous hair looks like a bunch of snaky heads. We've heard it all.
I've said it so many times before, but the writing for Scylla is incredible.
I wasn't going to say any of those things, which strike me as bizarre. Perhaps if you didn't antagonize your audience so much, they'd be more charitable.
Oof.
Their words roll right off our backs. At least mine. I only care about their cheers and their screams, which all start to sound the same after a while.
Oh man, have we ever heard Scylla talk in that voice before? That's pretty dark. But what I'm just eyeing right now is if we set up the combo immediately from where we spawn in, is the drummer in range? It's close, but I think she is. We might need to move forward ever so slightly. And that's why we want to get rid of the drummer, because she has that very annoying ability. And there goes the extra armor. Okay. But here is the Hex. Ah, that was a huge waste. Surely that gets... There we go, I was gonna say. Can we outrange you? Well, we can charge up the Hex quite easily by spending all that magic. And that damage adds up quite a lot. Okay, I think this Hex might be busted. Okay, not a fan of her being the featured artist, though. Definitely not a fan of that. Excuse me. Yeah, I was hoping that Hex was going to get rid of the drummer immediately. It didn't. Ooh, no! No! Run! Run! Dash out of that! Okay, please get out of your shell. Oh, right, we lost the godsent aspects of it. Okay. It's not as strong anymore. I was like, where'd the damage over time go? Run from all these guys! No! Get her.
Cooked fish.
There we go. We still have armor. Let's go.
Sing about that.
All right. We get a lot more stuff here.
There.
Crafting resources, yes, but more importantly is probably all these guys, the Arcana cards, so let's see what we've gained. Charge moves are 30% faster. I don't think we had that before. Definitely helpful for this combo. We can heal in between locations. That's very helpful. That's the one that I was saying I was considering taking at the very beginning as one of our 3 starters, even if it only costs 1 grasp. We had this already. We got that previously. We started with that. We got this after defeating the first boss. We've used one of them. This is new. This just got added. Deal plus 25 damage to foes with at least 2 curses from different Olympians. Could actually be good with this aspect if we have 1 curse on the special and 1 curse on the cast. That might kind of set itself up. Okay, we get the 3 Death Defiances. That was what I was really hoping we would see eventually. Because now we don't feel as tense about, okay, what happens if we start taking a bunch of damage? It does mean that strength is now deactivated, but that's okay. It did its job. It gave us extra damage while we needed it. Still have this. That was from before. I think we got that from the previous boss. This we activated from the onset. This is new. Okay, so this is one of the rarity boons that we were saying could make us stronger going forward with the rerolls. So now maybe we're in full reroll mode. Still getting gold.
Reeks in here.
Okay. Then we could consider going with the Narcissus Keepsake. At this point, yeah, it's still probably not targeting anything that we're a huge fan of, so I think the answer is probably no. Do we need the coin purse? Maybe not. I mean, it does give bonus gold since we have that chaos boon, so it's tempting for that reason alone. Well, if it's not you, I mean, it could be you. It could be you to try to sustain the armor. That is technically an option. It's probably a little late on to do this because there was a time when we used this as our first floor keepsake where it was easiest to go without taking damage on that floor. That's harder to do on this floor. Otherwise, I mean, what else are we taking if not that stuff on this floor? Unless there was a specific god or goddess we were looking for. It could be concave stone, I guess. Would probably be the alternative. Or I was considering taking the crystal figurine on this run. I had sort of alluded to that on a previous run where we took this for 1 floor. I wanted to power it up to see how it worked and see if we could just make it more impactful. I had thought that the thing that improves as this ranks up was the number of Arcana cards that it activates, but it's actually the rarity of the Arcana cards that it activates. So it likely would mean that we would unlock Arcana that's weaker than what we are getting from Judgement, the Hades pictured Arcana that we were building this whole run around. But with this plus Judgement, we should be able to get most of the Arcana active. I think if you had fully upgraded Judgement, which obviously we were not quite able to do, then you may not need this at all. But since we are not quite maxed out with the Judgement rarity, this might actually be significant. And this is the last floor where this is meaningful, because it doesn't matter getting the Arcana cards after you defeat Kronos. So you could make the case for it. Yeah. We kind of hit all the Arcana cards that we were really looking to get at this point, though. So I don't know that that makes a huge difference anymore. I think we'll go... I don't think it matters that much. We try this? All right, the problem with this is we already have such a small amount of armor. if we get hit more or less once, then it just completely negates this immediately. Oh, it does give us 30 armor right off the bat. All right, sure, we'll try it. There is an achievement. There is an achievement for, and maybe a prophecy as well, but at least an achievement for getting to the Kronos fight with an Arachne outfit still on. And I was starting to scheme in the back of my mind, not for this run, but I was thinking, okay, what are the ways that you could build a run specifically for that purpose? And one of the things was that you would definitely want Hephaestus because he has a bunch of armor-giving boons, and you would probably want to take the keepsake that we just took from floor 1 to give yourself a solid armor baseline. I was not expecting for us to make it this far with this armor. Certainly not when we took the one that has among the lowest starting armor values. So if we get a few more rooms out of it, great. But I was not expecting for us to get this far, nor do I really expect for us to make it all the way to Kronos with it. Nice though that may be. Okay, I think we do want this though, because we have spent a long time now waiting for the right special and or cast boon, and we've passed on a few because they've been low rarity.
Couldn't hurt.
So I think we try to set ourselves up with that, and then, yes, the Charon discount option. Maybe we had enough gold that that would have still paid off, but I don't know about that.
Time to dry off.
Okay, so now we're getting armor and gold every time we walk into a room, at least for now. At least for now. We've never taken this keepsake on this floor. That's pretty incredible. Love that room. Never taken this keepsake on this floor, so I don't know how it works with the whole this is technically 2 encounters in 1 room component. Or this this outfit from Arachne. Obviously never had it on this floor either. Okay. So whatever, there is a chance that whatever we take second could get duplicated from Echo.
Thanks, little one.
Probably would prefer duplicating the hammer, but honestly, double Selene wouldn't be the worst thing either. But we'll still go for this first, though. Remember, we have armor at the beginning of the encounter. But only the first few seconds.
Say we turn up the heat.
That was closer than I expected that to be. That guy making it through. Okay, so we take this. We have 3 points we can use here, which means we could have the Hex charged up 80% at the start of each encounter, which is really nice, especially now with this allowing us to deal damage even before it lands. But we could also make good progress toward this. How much of a game changer is that? Honestly, I think this might be more of a game changer. We can only use the Hex, the Godsent version of the Hex, once per encounter, unless it's the boss fight, but I still think it has the potential to clear out an entire encounter in and of itself, and that's reason enough to do that. I did not see that guy. Okay. So, did we even see the tree? It'd be nice to know what other stuff could be here. Okay, not a huge fan of that. Wish I hit on that. Oh, he is not dead. Okay, there we go. We should take these little upgrades now because if we do see Echo show up later, she duplicates the thing you take most recently, and it would stink if the thing we took most recently was a mini health. I swear this was not this difficult to aim this before. Freeze is helpful, though. Yeah, don't want a 5 life upgrade to be the thing that gets duplicated. Whereas, that was not the button that I meant to press. It's okay. If we get an extra hammer, on the other hand, that can be game-changing. Although, we did actually end up with the, I think, most impactful hammer upgrade possible. So that is nice. But let's have this. Let's do that. We've seen from the mini-boss that we weren't able to damage the enemies when they were in the smoke cloud. So I was kind of skeptical that it was going to work here, but I tried. There we go. Special strikes farther ahead and deals more damage. Does that work with the charge special as well? In which case, that's incredible. Otherwise, we get Melting Shredder, which may be the last one that we need for the prophecy completion, but this is just so good. The potential here is so incredible, I can't turn that down.
The mighty Moonstone Axe.
Okay, let's see. Mini-boss there? I mean, I think I'm skipping it. I'm sorry. And then if we're duplicating anything here, the answer is probably Hermes. Remember, we can potentially re-roll those. We have one more re-roll available to us. Yeah, so having more range on the special, so that we can truly just get any and everyone, at least distance-wise, and we've already seen it. The area side to side is at times still leaving a little bit to be desired. We'll eventually do one of the exits. I think we're definitely taking the magic before we take Hermes. I'd like to see the tree? Where is it? Oh, it's right here.
Grow golden once again.
Blending in a little bit. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Okay, this first. That might not have been where I wanted to aim that, in hindsight. Or maybe it was. There we go. So that's what I mean. Just throw that out there immediately. It clears out a lot of the enemies, and that is really all you can ask for. Oh, and we're getting higher rarity from Hermes here. Okay, that's interesting. See, that's the lack of a boon, special boon. I think is the main reason why that isn't taking all those enemies out immediately. Don't like that, though. Try to time this. Go in right around when that's landing, so it actually does hit. And then, have we gifted to you yet on this run? Well, maybe don't have a great reason to. No prophecy to be had.
In the name of Hades.
This is higher rarity, and the highest of rarities, in fact. Whenever we take damage, we lose coins before we lose life. I do not remember ever having seen this before, but it does not have a scroll next to it, which suggests that we have taken it. I don't know about that. It does potentially mean you're losing money, of course. Does that also allow us to circumvent losing armor, though? Because if so, that is potentially very interesting.
I should be able to get out, I think.
Does it negate all of the... Hold on. Cost per point of damage, 3. So does that exclusively remove gold before it removes life? Or is it only a portion of it? I think it's all gold before you lose life, in which case we functionally have more than 100 extra life now. Okay, we're definitely going Echo. Oh, almost missed this. There we go.
Echo, we did it.
We did it. Alright, no gifting options here, which stinks, because we would have gotten a prophecy from you.
We did it. We did it. We did it.
The House of Hades is restored. The Underworld King and Queen won't let this place languish as it has. In time, I'm certain it shall be better here for everyone.
Better here for everyone. For everyone. For everyone.
Yes, but for now, I may continue passing through much like before. I have to visit Tartarus to ensure everything's all right.
Everything's all right. All right. All right.
Very positive conversation with Echo. Let's see. Choose one of 3 boons from the previous night. Double the level of whatever boon has the highest. That's a lot on the magic restoration boon. Or gain dodge. We have to. We have to.
This shall help.
I mean, as I said, I was theorizing a way that we could try to set up a run that would have armor still all the way up to the final encounter, but we have gotten a bunch of stuff. I was not planning on this being that run. I assumed that it would take any and everything just to get through with a Judgement run. But hey, I mean, at this point, a lot of things are working in our favor here, and there is at least one other boon from Hephaestus that would give us additional armor, so it is kind of tempting. And at this point, just having gone into a few rooms without taking any damage, we have now bumped up to what is, I think, going to be the mid-50s by the time we enter that spot. I think that is probably the reason we go that. And yes, we also would ideally like to see the either cast or special. If I had to pick one, probably the cast from Hephaestus. We really, really want to see a cast and special boon soon. What is going on here? Big area, not a lot of stuff in it. Where is the bow? Should be, yes, this path that leads us there? Theoretically? Oh, it just turns in a direction that I did not expect. This room is ginormous.
My path.
Okay, so now we've seen... Oh, there's Nemesis. Not sure how I feel about that. We can potentially lose money with Nemesis. We can potentially gain money with Nemesis, but I think now that Echo is in the rearview mirror, that means we are front-loading stuff that is immediately helpful. So I think Hephaestus comes first. I don't know what Nemesis is next to there, because that seemingly is not where any of the major rewards are. I don't want her to show up here, I don't think. This is nasty. Ooh, don't walk into that. Okay.
Take them all.
Take them all, please. Especially the ones that have armor. Yes, beautiful. That's exactly what we were looking for there. Now this while we're at it. You mind your own business, Nemesis. Okay, looking for armor. Okay, or this. Or this. Again, though, it's the common rarity, except we do have the higher chance for it to be... What is it? I think it's just the epic rarity one. Here it is. Any boons you find have a plus 15% chance to include epic blessings. So it's weird. We have a high chance for them to be common rarity. Very low chance for them to be rare. But maybe a higher chance for them to be epic than they are rare. So, yes, these are both things that we like. However, do we try we have 3 rerolls. Let's try one of them.
The fates won't
Okay,
mind.
well. More armor. We could go with that instead. You know what? Sure. We'll do it.
Very well.
That gives us a lot more armor, and it makes it a lot easier for us to sustain the Silken Sash as well, so it's actually a bit of a double dip, in a way. Okay, so just get this while we're at it. A little more magic, I think. Let's go gold next, since gold is actually life. Still don't know 100% how that works, but that's okay. We're gonna figure that out. Well, actually, it'd be kind of nice if we didn't have to figure that out. That means we'd be taking damage. Okay, I would like it if you guys were to get a little closer. Yeah, the damage is definitely not that good. It's not as good as you would think it would be, because we don't have any special or cast boons, which we did obviously just turn down right there. But that is because we are trying to get the rarity. It does mean that we can spam the hex quite a bit, given how we have... I think we're going to do this next, and then we're going to see what Nemesis is all about. Since we have all the magic restoration, we can be very aggressive with the hex. Do that. Oh, don't do that. Don't throw that at me. To be honest, I was not sure how much air effect that guy was going to have. I was not sure if that was about to turn into a problem. Okay, so that's not going to be the God Sent version, but as long as you're standing in that area, that's okay. So there we go.
This feeling.
It doesn't seem like we're getting more armor every time we do one of these encounters within the same room. Yeah, but what is Nemesis doing over here? Because I think we've already done the 3 encounters.
Thank the fates.
Hmm? What are you doing? Now is not the time to offer gifts to Nemesis. You don't say.
Well, look who. Also lost here in these fields, I guess. Trade you a map or something if I had one, but you wouldn't have been able to afford it, so I'd use it to get out of here myself.
Excuse me, we have a bunch of money right now, thank you very much.
I doubt a map would be of any use, as these pathways seem to shift from night to night. I've been able to make use of the golden boughs scattered about at least. What about you?
I assume she just says that about your gold, no matter how much you actually have on the run. It'd be one thing if we were truly poor right now, but we definitely are not.
The golden boughs. Had no idea those did anything but look all sad. Guess I should have paid better attention when the headmistress was droning on and on over that cauldron.
Okay, Nemesis. I assume we're still going to fight her here in some way? Well, is it just going to be a trade of some variety? Yes. Okay, let's see. We give her a bunch of gold. In exchange, we get 50 life. Gold is life. In many ways, this is just objectively a downgrade. It also means we have less flexibility in shops. So I think with the Hermes boon, this is just in every conceivable way not worth it.
Deal's a deal.
What? Oh, it did the thing that I talked about before, where she tricked me. I wanted to decline it. I was like, why did she give me that stuff when I tried to decline it? Hold on. I don't want her to steal the room that I want. Which one are you doing? Nope. Not so fast. I want that. I want that room. I wanted to decline that trade. However, as I've mentioned before, on that screen, it's really deceptive. The button you're supposed to press to decline the offer is on one side of the screen, and that is the opposite of which side that button is on your controller. So I pressed the button on the left because that's where the decline option appeared. So, yeah, it was a UI issue that led to that, and I've highlighted it before, noticed it in advance, and avoided that situation, but that time I fell for the trick. And that really is something that I feel like they should change. I don't know if they're still looking at making any tweaks to the game after full release, but that feels like that's just kind of a significant oversight. And I could see how there's a world in which they just never realized that was a thing, but I feel like once that has been introduced to them, it should hopefully be a quick, easy, and obvious change. Let's do this, and well, actually we might... No, we should do this first, because we don't even really want to upgrade the things that we have right now. Sure, we can upgrade this even more, but I don't know that that's making a huge difference for us. Okay, I think we have to take this. It's finally a special boon, and it is epic rarity, so that is very useful. So it is significant damage. I think the cast is actually a bigger impact with this aspect, but the special is important too. And it does mean we have more reliable freeze, but Hephaestus on the cast, that's what we're really looking for here, and now we'd like to upgrade that ideally. Oh, we don't get the upgrade from the shop though. Oops, okay, in hindsight we actually would have preferred not to have taken that at all in that case. And then kind of similar story with you. Especially if we take damage from our gold before we take damage from our armor, because we are about to face Cerberus, which would be the place we'd be most likely to blow through our armor, at least for now. We have not gotten many boons. Wow. Wow, this is, it was common rarity, so it doesn't scale that quickly, but we have not gotten very many boons, so that's still less than 5% chance to dodge. Alright, here goes nothing. Just base Cerberus, fortunately. And the Hex could be quite good against him. What is that? What the heck? Oh, and I did nothing during that time period where we had the extra... Excuse me. Where we had the extra armor. Ooh, I did not see that. I'm not sure we've used any blocks yet, though, which is actually really useful. I don't know what order those went in. Somehow I avoided getting hit there. I don't know how. That was close. Don't want to be there. So you go there, and then you go this way. He actually helped me to avoid that. I think I'm going to wait to hex him until he phases, because he's kind of close to that. There's the phase. These million punch guys are annoying. Not really what I wanted to see here. Okay, now Cerberus is incoming. I'll wait for him to actually pop up so we can get the full value out of the dot as well. Is he gonna... Oh, nope, that's not what I expected him to do. Thought he was going Fire Breath. That's because he was going Fire Breath. He was just also doing that simultaneously. This is not God Sent anymore, this is just basic. He is now moving around with this, so fortunately was still able to get him. Okay, please stop that now. Thank you. There we go. No damage against Cerberus. That's what we like to see.
This sure beats guarding underworld gates. The monstrous hound perhaps is thinking at this time.
And it also means we're going to get a bunch more Arcana cards activated here, which I kind of forgot about. So we're sort of already on this floor, more or less where you would usually be at the start of a run, Arcana-wise, maybe slightly less than that. But now at this point...
Some tears.
At this point, we should be stronger than what we would otherwise be at the start of a run. If we had fully upgraded Judgment, that would definitely be the case. But this is all the Arcana cards we're going to get right now, because defeating Kronos doesn't really matter for that anymore. I don't know, it might technically still count for the prophecy completion, even if you aren't really fighting anyone with those last few Arcana cards active. So what did we gain now? It's really more a question of what don't we have. So we gained this. While we have less than 100% magic, our attack and special does more damage, which is nice, because we are spending magic quite regularly, although we are also regenerating magic quite quickly. Special damage, though, that is good to pick up. We already had that. Did we have this before? I am not sure if we had this. It's... Yes, it'll help us against Kronos. It would have been really helpful earlier on. But Golly did the heavy lifting with the blocks, I think. Then what else did we gain? I think we gained this? We gained this, so we get more money. Did we gain this as well? So tons of rerolls now? But we didn't get the one that gives us the higher chance of rarity boons or higher. I think that's one of the few things we have still unavailable to us. So the boon rarity may still leave a little bit to be desired. But somehow, some way, we still have armor
Onward, Golly.
going into this floor, which I never would have seen coming. And we're still gaining more armor from this keepsake, although we might be about to turn it off. I mean, I could potentially be convinced to keep it at this point, since we got the extra Death Defiances from you. Sure, we could add one more with the Lucky Tooth, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Or we could go with another boss-oriented keepsake like the Knucklebones. But otherwise, I mean, we have the Death Defiances, so this is not critically important. Obviously, if we end up using Death Defiances along the way to Kronos, then it would be nice to have this as a backup plan. But with all the armor that we have, it'd be nice to keep on building with this. And, I mean, it does feel like we have an opportunity here with 118 armor, potentially more. It's going to be very hard to not take damage in these rooms, of course, but it is possible. Can't access this until we do the fountain. I guess we're not going to use Narcissus on this floor regardless, so we can do this. Let's see what we have here, because there's a chance we'll see more armor. We do not. We can move faster. Well, we can get a random item, which may or may not give us what we're looking for. Remember, also, gold equals life. We still don't know if it comes before we lose armor or not, because if it does come before we lose armor, then we legitimately have far and away the best opportunity that I think we could ever conceive of having to get that achievement complete, which is all the more reason to stick with this keepsake. I really think we should. Let's do this, see what we end up with. If it's the Chaos Room one, we might pass on that. Centaur Soul. Oh, that's life? The one that doesn't immediately give us the full... It increases our max life without giving us that immediate 25 life, but that's still good. It makes it also a little bit easier to stick with the armor keepsake, because by having a little more life, we're a little bit better defensively. And then moving faster means we're less likely to get hit, and it only costs 10. So I think we do it. And wait, what was this one? Heal after 4 encounters? Nah. Okay. So here goes nothing. We're trying. At this point, we are going for it. I was thinking we were going to do a separate run for it, for trying to get that achievement, but maybe we go for it now. Now we're getting gold, healing, and armor every time we enter a room. The reason why we're getting heal is, again, because we just got extra max life without getting the base life. This is a few extra rooms with no enemies where we get a little bit more armor. So that is helpful. That adds up. Okay. We're still getting gold every room, which is pretty sweet. Ratman's gotta go, of course. I was not even trying to do that. Oh, that was dodge with our 4.5% dodge chance. We'll take it. Okay, we do have the Hex up. I don't know who we're hitting with the Hex, though. The rats, of course. The rats might legitimately be the only enemies left. No, they're not the only enemies left. Okay, I'm also trying to dodge that. It was not the last set of enemies. There we go. Okay, I don't think we had to lose any armor there. There's a chance we used a block. Oh, okay. I am curious what happens in these rooms. Now that we have basically freed Hades. Is it still Hades, or is this going to be Zagreus in this room now? That was what I was wondering. No enemies in this room either, which means more armor.
Mother, father.
Oh.
Hades, look.
Our daughter.
Mother and father. Hold on. It's our first time having this happen. Also, I guess we'll wait to see if we can pet Cerberus, but we have reason to suspect that we can now pet Cerberus. I'm trying to salute you.
Be well, mother.
You too, my baby girl.
Oh. We can't salute our father.
Oh, Malinois, you're back. We thought we might find you here. Well, Hades did. I never would have guessed.
Your mother and I had looked forward to seeing you again ever since you departed. How have you fared? Are matters in the crossroads well in hand?
Okay, so back to the whole time traveling and alternate reality conundrum. So we're technically still in our usual timeline right now, which means in this universe, Hades and Persephone have both been freed. So they can come into this room as they please. There are obviously still enemies in here, but Kronos in this timeline is friendly. So just a little strange to run into them here rather than, say, at the end. Well, I guess maybe it makes more sense for them to show up here rather than at the end of the run, because at the end of the run, we would be in that alternate timeline when we're fighting Kronos. I don't know.
Everything is more or less all right, Father. It's good to see you in this chamber in far better spirits than before, though why return to such a place? I'd have thought you'd rather be just about anywhere else.
Right. That's why I think I suspected that we wouldn't see Hades here. I thought we'd only see him in the House of Hades, and then maybe Zagreus would be running around and we'd be more likely to run into him.
The house is partially in order, but the rest of Tartarus yet bears the mark of my father's extravagant tastes. Whatever harm he caused our family, undoing his decor shall take longer still.
Oh no! His horrible decor!
Grandfather shall do his part. It also means I get to say hello.
Well, I shall do my small part then, in the retracing of your steps, provided I may be of service still.
Straight from the house.
I have no... He just gave us some kind of resource. I have no idea what it was, though. Let's see. After you take damage, go dark and deal more damage for the duration. In your confrontation with Kronos, he summons fewer reinforcements. When we use 60 magic, summon 3 soul urns around us. Our combo, I think, still costs 45 magic to use, so that means we're not quite setting this up with each use of the combo. If it was, if it costs more, it would almost be better, because then we would have even more damage and even more area of effect from the combo. So this is still a little bit tempting, and we may have even used it with this combo, with this aspect at least before. Otherwise, we'd probably go for this, and technically, given how strange our setup is right now, I do have some question about what counts as us taking damage. Does it count as taking damage if we activate the Hermes boon and we lose gold instead of life? Does it count as taking damage if we get hit and lose armor instead of losing life? Honestly, I don't even know if that's the case. So, if it does still activate regardless of which of those resources we're using, this could be the best option. Otherwise, it's probably this. Also, I love the music. It is, I think, still very similar to the main Hades theme, but very different instrumentally, much more orchestral. I guess I will still do this one. I don't know. It might be that both of those are fine. Now we can gift, though. I don't think we were ever able to gift to Hades, or certainly not Persephone before. So I'm not really sure who we are giving this to be honest with you.
Mother, Father, I'm so grateful to have you back in my life.
The combination of the two?
So much to catch up on, but all the time in the world. For now, this is just a small housewarming gift.
Thank you, this is perfect. Our supply back at the house has disappeared. Perhaps Kronos had a taste for it.
Maybe it's just me, but it feels like they're going a little overboard on the Persephone shocked reactions. What we had for the first couple of seconds there, we already had it at the beginning of this conversation, if not once, maybe even twice. So it's like, it just gives the perception that Persephone is not the most composed of people, which I don't love.
Nectar from the highest peaks. To think we once forbade this substance here, though that was well before your time. Thank you, daughter. And we have something here for you in turn. A small token, but a symbol of our family as well.
So we do not have this keepsake yet, because we were not able to gift to the combination of Persephone and Hades until just now.
Please, take it.
It's the jeweled palm.
Thank you both for this.
Okay. But now, for the real question. First we talk.
For unknown reasons, does this savage beast decide not to devour the princess?
Thanks, Cerberus. He's letting us pet him!
Don't you?
Also, it made me very concerned, that animation there, as we went over to pet him, because the game... We did not have our axe out, or I don't think we did. Maybe we did. But it made us sidestep and sweep our axe across the ground in this very dramatic fashion and really made it look like we were about to clobber Cerberus over the head with it, which would have been completely unacceptable. Never mind the fact that we did more or less just do that in the previous boss fight, but it just made me a little nervous for a second there. I was like, no! Not now! Not like this! After waiting so long to finally pet him, this is what it meant? Okay. So it's another room, though, in which we did not have any enemies. So it means another room in which to build up a little more armor, which is useful.
More sand skulls.
You teleported out of there? I didn't appreciate that when you teleported out of there. I'm pretty sure we just used a block of some variety, or maybe it was just the sound effect from some of our various boons. There we go. Okay, so there's a chance we used the block, but we did not take any damage. So that is very useful, means functionally more armor. Hold on, this might be our first fish. Ooh, and a quick one.
Caught another jiffy.
And that counts for water boons. We still have so few boons that that's not really going to be a big factor, I don't think. Okay. And I'm not going to lie, I was thinking when we were saying that this might be a run in which we try to get to the final boss fight with armor, with the outfit still active from Arachne, that might mean that we don't take on extra rooms, at least not when they're mini-bosses, because that is the biggest potential way to thwart those plans. We also do have the ability to alter rooms still, and I guess I should have realized that was going to be few and far between our opportunities to do that on this floor. In fact, it might more or less be impossible to benefit from it on this floor. We did use one early on. We might just end up leaving one on the shelf. Nope, I'd like to dash over here. Thank you. Yeah, even the enemies that are nowhere near where the hex is going to land still get hit by that, which is pretty convenient. I don't like that, though. That was definitely a block. Just anytime we have to use a slow combo when there's an enemy sneaking up on us. I guess we can do this again. That's just a normal one, though. Get everyone? We did, except somebody's still alive.
All right.
Okay, so we used a block, but we did not take damage, I don't think.
All yours, Gully. Well done.
Okay, and we... Given that we passed on the previous optional room... Definitely can't do this. We passed on the previous optional room, I do wonder if that may have been the branching pathway that would have led to all the other optional rooms. There's a chance that we just are going to be going straight to the Kronos fight for the rest of the run now. That might have been a little sooner than we wanted to use. I'm trying to dash out of there. That was really annoying. Those golden, or those, I did not even realize I was standing on top of that. Fortunately, we did dodge it. Oh, there's still this dude. No rats. There is still a rat, though. There we go. Okay. So...
One chamber left.
If we go this way, this is the last room we need to complete in order to get the... I think we just need to show up into the boss encounter. We don't need to make it through with armor. So that means we finish this room without taking 142 or like 146 damage, I think, by the time we walk through the door. And achievement unlocked. I think it is one of the hardest ones at that. So it would be really nice to do that. It just feels like this would be such a shame to throw it now by taking on an unnecessary mini-boss, so I think we do this. Of course, for all I know, this room is going to be a nightmare. It does mean, of course, that we are not getting whatever the benefits would have been from all these optional rooms. So it's not like it's all sunshine and rainbows. I think that did not really hit you, did it? There we go. Okay, so there's a chance there is still one more optional room here. Given how this isn't a mini-boss, I might opt for it. It's unlikely to be anywhere near as difficult as the mini-boss rooms. And that way, what are we trying to upgrade? It's definitely the special. We still don't have a cast boon. Really would like to land on the special. We do have a lot of rerolls, so we have the opportunity to... Oh, we could also alter this. But I think this is okay. I mean, otherwise, we would probably look for... I don't even know what. Yeah, let's do it. Everyone is right there, so if you guys could just continue to stay there, that'd be great. Yup. Okay. Not a problem. Okay, really want this to be the special. Like, really want this to be the special. That is insane how much armor that gives you at the first 7 seconds of the encounter, but that's not very meaningful anymore. The much more useful thing would be if the duration increased. I think we're re-rolling here. But yes, either one of... This has pretty serious diminishing returns at this point. This is doubling the damage bonus, which is nice, but it's still the type of skill that we're using the least often for damage.
What else?
So this is the thing we really want to see. Okay. Yeah. And we still have re-rolls that we can use for this shop. I think we are about to get the achievement. We could get more armor. Oh, we could get a lot more armor, potentially. Okay. Let's see. We could afford this if we really wanted to, which is actually a pretty nice opportunity. Although, given how many boons we passed on, or at least one way or another, we ended up with very few boons on this run, it would be nice to actually, you know, get a cast boon and hopefully have the firepower to actually see this one through, even if we walk into this room with the armor and maybe,
Fine dress you have.
in doing so, gets the achievement for walking in with that fine dress. It would also be good to actually win the run. So let's go here. We'll go here. I don't think we're doing this because we have at least one really good hammer upgrade. And then that means we're just going to have to take you in the last spot, but that's okay. We still have damage based on how much armor we have, do we not? That was, yeah, this one. Oh, right. So we're actually gaining more damage from the armor. All the more reason for us to further build upon it. Okay, let's go here. So this one is, yes, exactly what we are looking for. Epic rarity on the cast. This is what we've been missing all along. Okay, thank you very much. I'm glad that we eventually found it. And then we can re-roll to our Heart's Delight here, if we would like. Oh, that's not... Okay, well, yes, I was going to take that, but we can re-roll to our Heart's Delight here, if we would like. We don't have a dash boon. Gain more life based on our magic. We do have a fair bit of magic, so that's actually fairly significant. Also, look at our life bar. It's completely filled up with armor, because we have almost exactly the same amount of armor as we do life. In fact, if we were to not take Uncanny Fortitude and walk into the next room, we would have more armor than life, which would be pretty ridiculous. At least, certainly, even more so at this stage of the game. But this is probably the best one for us, unless we reroll. I mean, we might as well reroll, just to see what our alternatives are. I don't know what we'd be looking for. His Infusion gives you bonus damage based on the number of Earth boons you have. I think it can still show up when we only have 4. So we might as well try. I think that is probably the best possible option for us. Or we get that, but I don't think that's that useful. Gain armor every single look. I mean, it's another source of armor if we really want it, but hold on. It's even more armor. Okay, we have no rerolls left. I think we're just probably gonna take this. Alright, it means we're not gonna have as much armor as we have life, but it's pretty darn close. And it does mean now that our life bar is a little more visible. But so be it. Okay, we're passing on that, even if it probably means we get an extra Charon card. So be it. We want to keep what we have going for us on this build, because the key thing is the one that gives us an additional special is very nice. Do we want to gift to you? Not especially.
The House of Hades once again stands tall and stately, with the proper countenance engraved upon its heavy door. but the Princess of the Dead has a different entryway in mind.
Right. It's like, yeah, you know, Melinoway, the door does work now. You could... No, I'm diving in. I don't care what you say.
Time for a quick dip.
Okay, so last time I did accidentally skip this conversation. So hopefully, I will make a point of not doing it this time. Hopefully we can learn a little bit more about this alternate timeline in which we still need to fight Kronos.
All right, my girl, this shall unfold exactly as before. You leap into the river, I ensure you end up in the proper stream.
Metaphorically speaking. Okay, well that is all, I suppose. And so, the key here is pretty simple. It's gonna be the combo that it was before, plus the Hex. The combo is much stronger now that we actually have a very highly upgraded special, and we at least have something going for the cast, and it is good rarity. So that's not so bad. And then this could certainly add up in the Kronos fight. I believe that all we need is to walk into this fight with the dress still active for us to get that achievement, rather. But there is a chance we need to finish it. It just depends on... The phrasing of the achievement definitely suggests that all you need to do is walk into the encounter with it. But I feel like there's been one or two sort of things along those lines that have been a little deceptive in that way, and we actually have had to clear this encounter, so don't want to necessarily count our eggs before they've hatched.
I shall not retaliate. See you later.
Alright, here we go. There it is. Dress to kill. We got it.
You again. You have seen that I do not stay gone. Fight me to your heart's content. No matter the outcome, it is you who ends up banished from this place. Or are you here merely to rummage through your family's old, unneeded things?
I have no need of anything of theirs. Only your head.
Oh, also, we get the extra armor at the very beginning of the encounter, so if you wanted for us to have more armor than life, that will be the case for the first 7 seconds, if nothing else. I feel like before that last room where we got some important upgrades, this was not a particularly strong run. I mean, our aspect was absolutely just carrying, and the Hex was absolutely just carrying. I'm hoping that with those upgrades now, we do still stand a good chance against Kronos here.
That you cannot have, my girl, for I shall be requiring it to rule the realms with wisdom such as my unruly children never had. And you apparently have even less.
Okay. When do we want to use the God-sent hexes, is my question. So we only have 2 of those. I do not remember ever having seen that attack. I don't think. That's this. The way those guys hop is kind of weird. Hey, do you guys want to hang out here where those urns are? Oh, well, that's actually quite convenient. I did not expect you to comply with that. Certainly not with that sort of speed. So I'm kind of trying to wait for you to get to a later phase when you're more annoying before we break out the God-sent... Oh, hold on. The God-sent hexes. I mean, obviously we do deal more damage after we use the hex, so to a certain extent, the earlier you do it, the better. Ooh, it's not really what I expected you to do there, to be honest. Oh, excuse me. Yep. That's this. I'm very surprised that I dodged that. This might be the first time you've used this skill. Okay, so you see, the damage it's decent. It's not amazing when it's exclusively this combo. Okay, now you can do... Oh, I don't know how that missed. Now you can do 2s. Oh no, you're still not quite on half health. So not quite in the area where you can do double moves. Probably very close to that. I still don't know how I didn't get hit by that. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So now you're stronger, and now maybe we have more reason to use the Hex. But I'd like to save it for when we are pretty confident you're gonna be standing still. Or is, no, that's the half health mark. Okay, now you can do double and triple. That was bad. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this would be a good time to do it. I walked into his razor blade though, as he was charging that up. Yeah, because he has some damage immunity at each quarter health mark. He technically gains a shield. So you don't want to use it when you're close to one of those marks. And now at this point, I'm just going to wait for the start of the second phase before I use the second one. I did, I think, blow through all of our resistances though, unfortunately. I'm trying to just get rid of you, to be honest. That's this. We may be farming up a fair bit of speed. Haven't necessarily been making a deliberate point of doing that. That was a dodge. Dodges are actually happening now, which is kind of incredible. Okay, there we go. One more time, you say. Should I be reading into that? Okay, we do that. Then we go here. Dodge out. It's kind of hard to sneak that in. That was closer than I would have liked it to have been. I didn't really have a way out of that. Blocks, though. We still had a block. I don't know how he hits us with this. I don't know how that ability works. I somehow dodged that again. That was a little closer than I would have liked it to have been. I walked straight into the our hand, whatever hand it was. We did lose gold before we lost any armor, I think. I do think that is a thing. Okay, these guys are really annoying. Nope, 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 hold on. Because he's healing big time. One moment. I need to get rid of these guys. Please stop that. Oh, right on here? Okay, well, we have no choice. Fortunately, the timing did actually kind of work out, though. Okay, that's this. 2. That's not where I want to stand, but I can hit you with this. Oh, hold on, that was close. Nope, rude. You're doing this a lot. Mostly just doing that to charge with another hex. Hoping you're gonna walk into that. You did. Thank you very much. And goodbye. I don't even think we took any damage to our armor. And I don't know how that happened, because we dodged a bunch of stuff and blocked a bunch of stuff. But we did get... Yeah. Didn't even strike us once. There you go. Okay, I think we have to say it. At this point, this is far and away our most successful run ever. Yes, sure, we didn't use any fear. But given the circumstances, we were messing with our Arcana. We got to the final fight and finished the final fight, not only with our armor, with all of our armor. We didn't take any damage at all, didn't get hit once. Yes, we got quite lucky on some of those dodge procs with a very low dodge chance, and Golly definitely helped us with the blocks as well. But that's alright, we take those.
A time flow freely forth. Do not presume. You won.
Do we still unlock Arcana after defeating him? I don't think so. Alright, Silk Saver is the name of this run, which is so fitting, because we did, in fact, save our Silk all the way to the end. Yeah, I never could have guessed that we would pull that off. Not on this run, at least. Fulfill the prophecy Arcana of the Ages, which I think is the one that I was just talking about. That was the original plan. Finish runs with all the different Arcana cards.
Got it.
It was the making it to the end with our Silk still active. That was the bonus part. Also, we got 27 of the plasmas, so we are moving faster than usual. It does look silly with our legs, little pitter-patter steps. It doesn't feel crazy fast. We are still using the axe, which feels like it's generally slow, but okay. On we go.
More has the fierce princess of the underworld ensured that time flows freely forth, and in so doing, vanquished a foul remnant of her foe. The work itself can be quite rigorous, having to cross to other possibilities out of the singular reality we know. Thus the princess now feels ready for a nap.
We could use a nap.
Return to shadow now.
As we yawn.
That was good.
That'd be cool if we, even in the crossroads, if we kept our alternate outfit color from having finished the run with the silk on. But we're still wondering, are we ever going to find ourselves in the House of Hades again at the end of runs? Or are we always just going to get automatically teleported back like that? I don't know.
Got him again. But we're not finished yet, are we?
He said something about that being the last time or something like that, which I kind of doubt. I mean, obviously we've had the true ending, and we're still expecting some sort of infinite number of infinite number of runs we can do and fighting Kronos in them, but there are still some things that have yet to resolve, like finding the Fates.
The House of Hades was so luxurious. Nice to have your own space, though.
Okay, and we no longer need to gift to Dora ever, because we've maxed out our relationship with her. And you may have even noticed, it means that there's this little icon next to Dora's keepsake on the keepsake selection screen. It has her head next to it, basically. So maybe more reason to use Dora's keepsake in the future, although that is generally not one that we're using all that often, so we'd kind of have to make a point of doing it just for the sake of doing it. But let's talk.
You know, back when you got me on your whole renewal project thing, I knew what you were up to, Mel. Nothing like a bunch of busy work to make you stop thinking about the pointlessness of your existence, right?
I wonder if she's having this conversation with us now, because at the end of our previous run, we spent an exorbitant amount of resources to fancy things up around the crossroads.
I never saw it as a bunch of busy work. Look at how much we've been able to accomplish here. This place is flourishing, the other shades seem energized. You had a lot to do with that.
You really think so? What I was going to say is, at some point the busy work started to kind of grow on me. It stopped feeling pointless, even if it is.
If it doesn't feel pointless, it isn't.
There you go.
Maybe. Personal space, Mel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't remember her ever having said that to us before.
Thank you for waiting.
Okay, I think we got a bunch of prophecies done here, including 2 very difficult ones.
This wasn't on the list before.
Arcana of the Ages, which I guess this was on the list. We got that, which is 5 Nightmare, so that's big time value.
You are emboldened by your knowledge of the past.
So that was the one we were focusing on. The getting to the final room with your Arachne outfit on, that's technically an achievement, not a prophecy, I guess, so nothing here from that. But we did also unlock and complete the prophecy for getting all the stuff from Hephaestus. And that gives us a bunch of bones. I'm gonna pass for now.
How fares your effort to cleanse all of the disorder Kronos wrought? I trust this new task doesn't fall solely to you.
Oh, everybody's pitching in, even Kronos.
That's
Your
true.
grandfather. You heard what happened to him, right? His new self seems more tolerable than before.
Okay, I guess if we're basically calling this a completely new Kronos, like technically it is a Kronos from a different universe, an alternate universe that we've brought into this universe, then maybe that gives us more reason to believe that he's being authentic. I mean, at this point, obviously, it's pretty definitive. He's already helped us several times and has not chosen to backstab us yet. So that's how things are going to go for the rest of the game, it seems. But I mean, I've made it pretty clear at this point. I still don't think that was the right move to make. I do think it detracted from the ending.
Death to Kronos, to his old self. I don't know how you managed it, Princess. Perhaps not even my sisters could know such a thing, wherever they may be.
Yeah, maybe it's more of a metaphorical death in this case.
We ought to find where they've been exiled.
Right.
I don't think Kronos can simply tell us. What about you? Perhaps enough has changed that you can locate them somehow.
Yeah, that's the main thing that we're still trying to do here.
I often search the void where you and I first met, since the Fates would sometimes go there too. But it's a vast place.
Is that what happens when we die? It's been so long since we've seen Moros on a run that I kind of forgot how we used to interact with him, because there was a while where he was not in the crossroads.
We'll keep searching.
Okay, hopefully that means that we might be inching closer toward getting a breakthrough with the Fates.
We'll see this realm restored.
Underworld King and Queen are back. Princess, you prevailed. Dying Wish and Orchard. Well, hopefully we can get some nice decorations around here and make it a little orchard-like. Okay, no heiress. No one over here. There rarely seems to be anyone in the areas where you spend time with those big resources, besides this dude, who we may be able to... Why does he have the exclamation point above his head?
Salutations, music maker.
Are there new pieces of music that we did not have access to before? Or is it just saying... Oh, yeah? In the Blood Reunion... Oh, is this the one that we just saw, or heard, when we encountered Hades and Persephone in that room mid-run? That might be the case. Theme of the royal family, the Underworld King and Queen, and the fateful legacy they share. I bet that's the case. And yeah, because it's... In the Blood is the name, I think, of the main theme, and then the reunion mix is because that's basically that alternate orchestral version. Still plenty of things we could purchase here, so I suppose there's no shortage of ways to spend your kudos. We may still be able to get more of that stuff, but that's not really something that we are all that concerned about
Look at all this
at
stuff.
this moment. I know you can't see me right now, but I just want you to know that I'm shaking my head. One more of those optional rooms. One more. And we would have had it. Darn it. That is very unfortunate. I mean, if we spend time with any of our friends over here, then obviously that will certainly be enough to pick up that shipment, but it's just pretty funny. It worked out that way. Okay, that's the stuff for gifting to our familiars. We have now maxed out our relationship level, bond, whatever you technically call it, with one of the familiars, Golly. But I think there are still several that are lagging behind quite a bit, so I think we do still need a fair number of those. Oh, and hold on, we did get a new crafting resource from Hades when we ran into him, but I wasn't sure what it was. It was this. What is this? House Soot? Excuse me? No obvious use, but something from the House of Hades nonetheless. Found through some connection to the House of Hades, in theory. Death leads the newly deceased to the house, where eternal sleep welcomes them. Oh, you say eternal sleep. Might that mean that this is going to be a key ingredient toward awakening Hypnos? That's another one of the big things that we are still trying to do. Okay. Interesting. Because, yeah, it seems like, just based on where it is on this list, it sort of falls under that category of Igaros, Entropy, where it's one of those big quest-based crafting resources that you only ever see one of, and it's going to give you some kind of big update. So it was either that or the Fates, but I'm guessing based on the description there that it might help us with Hypnos. Oh, we're just listening in. Oh, that's because that's Nemesis. I did not even see you there.
Insubordination, dereliction of duty, falsehood, intimidation, obstinance, simply setting a negative example for the shades. Anything else, would you say?
I'm sure we could add plenty more things to that list.
Indulgence, callousness, negligence. Hecate, Headmistress, I accept your judgment, and I have no excuses for my deeds.
Oh, is she about to get booted out?
Well, thank the fates that you would spare me that at least. Now then, Nyx returned, I ought petition her to take you back. Surely the House of Hades could use another hand.
She's actually trying to kick out Nemesis.
Don't. You know as well as I, my place is here. But I'm Retribution incarnate. I'm not here only to stand guard.
Yeah, it does make me a little concerned about what happens if you do anything to Nemesis. Like, if we were to kick her out, she is Retribution incarnate. You know she's coming back for revenge, and you know it's probably going to be horrible when she does. So, maybe, as much as it pains me to say it, you do kind of still need to just deal with her and let her stick around.
Clearly. Much retribution is to come, both above and below in these changing times. And you shall administer it in accordance with Knight's will, when and wheresoever you see fit.
Knight's will is usually what we refer to the various fear options by, which does make me wonder if there's going to be something Nemesis-themed there that's about to get added to the list.
Retribution whenever and wherever I see fit. You're letting me proceed. What have I done to deserve that?
Nemesis, you hold such answers, not I. Now go, and see to our collective charge that time flows freely forth.
I wonder how many takes it took the average voice actor to say that line. Because now it's Kronos is saying it, Hecate is saying it, I think we might have heard Moros say it a while back, Hades might have said it on this run. It is really hard to say. So I just like to see what that was like in the recording booth. See if other people stumbled over their words.
Consider it done, Headmistress.
Okay. So we can't gift anything or talk to these two individually. We can potentially... Oh, I forgot we can get some of this here. So that is something we just used a whole bunch of to upgrade some of our Arcana cards, and we need a whole bunch more if we're trying to max out all of our Arcana. Yes, for the most part, the ones that had not yet been maxed out were the ones that we hadn't been using, which is why it wasn't really relevant until this run. But they still cost a lot, and there is, I think, both an achievement and a prophecy for doing that. So, would like to... I mean, it should be feasible, so I would like to do that at some point. Still trying to gift to you, but Odysseus still says no.
Sounds like your father's house is back in some semblance of order. Always wanted to visit if ever I could, if only to greet an old comrade or two from the war.
Oh. Once upon a time, we did see, and by once upon a time, I mean in Hades 1, we did see one Mr. Achilles in the House of Hades, who Odysseus, I would imagine, would be quite familiar with.
I'd also like to visit again, but there's no telling when, if ever, we would have that chance, so long as we're unseen. Officially, they're not even supposed to know we're here.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, maybe we won't find ourselves in the House of Hades very often, in that case.
I know, but it doesn't make the desire go away. At any rate, as long as the servants of the king and queen are well, perhaps our paths shall later cross, who knows?
I would like to get there, with some regularity at least, if nothing else than to see Hades, Persephone, Zagreus, Nyx, and or whoever else may choose to show up there.
The Fates?
Or Prometheus, aye.
Okay. Nothing going on over there. Nothing with you? Just wondering if maybe getting that resource from Hades
Pleasant dreams.
might make it more likely for us to have a breakthrough there, but I think we're still a ways off from that, unfortunately. Still have some good stuff to plant here, though. That is nice. That's from the bottom floors. We'll throw that in.
Live and thrive.
Ah, that's a nice touch.
Okay, and at this point, I think for the most part, these resources are here for us to just turn around, sell them, get some kudos, and unlock other cosmetics around the crossroads. There are some, I mean, I guess there are also cosmetics or music that do cost some of these resources as well, so one way or another, that's the main way that we're using stuff at this stage. I don't think there's really anyone we could spend time with, which is unfortunate because it means we are, I think, going to be sticking around with that Charon delivery one room away from being here, so that That kind of stinks.
You new around these parts, so you answer to me.
Oh, but what's going on over here? We'll withhold for now, I think. In general, trying to gift to the people who have some sort of major update. Obviously, the prophecies being the main thing, but you know what? Sure, we'll gift to him.
I'm most appreciative of your generosity. Would that I had more to give you in return besides the wisdom of my vast experience.
Please, sir, that is more than enough. Your disciples and I are fortunate to study under you.
Alright. As for the usual conversation...
Come, young one, let's see you deliver your best shot already.
Oh, pretty sure that's just a generic thing for him to say. Might not have even had an exclamation point above his head.
Welcome to your new home.
Okay. So... that was a run that became a lot more than I expected it to be. As I said, the main purpose was to get the Judgment run done, and I suppose the Strength run as well. I mean, you could always activate Strength and just waste 4 Grasp on it by also taking the Death Defiance, just for the sake of completing the prophecy, rather than using this for its intended purpose of having no Death Defiances, and that obviously comes with a bunch of risks, but it worked out far better than I ever could have imagined that it would. Getting that done, and also finishing the run with our Arachne dress intact and no damage taken against Kronos. So I don't know that that's ever going to happen again, but that's all right. We can put that one up in the archives. But as for what we have planned for the next go round, well, that was maybe the other thing that I had on the agenda. So we might just be headed back up to the surface. We might just be going for a bonus bones weapon. We might just be doing runs until we get some sort of breakthrough on the Hypnos or Fate front. But either way, this is where we will wrap things up. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.